https sabo. Future of Mankind. Co. K. Billy Meyer. Clarification of a defamatory claim Christmas, a Christmas story excerpt, and the Christmas party from a pedagogical point of view. Written by Lansendorfer, H. G. and Stefan.
Who doesn't celebrate it? The day of the birth of Jesus Christ, the supposed Savior. The celebration of the incarnation of God with which Jesus descended into the history of the people to experience their joys and sorrows and to give new hope to all. The sacred celebration of the consecrated night with which God reveals himself to man in a way that could not be more overwhelming? Overwhelming? Right. Because the true roots of this supreme Christian festival are indeed overwhelmingly unchristian. If you fight your way through the proliferating, creeping plant-like undergrowth of Christian historical heresies and use the machete of real facts, then the true and original roots of Christian Christmas will quickly come to light. Unfortunately, at the beginning of the brief excursion into the history of Christmas, one has to separate oneself from the familiar idea that on the 25th of December, little Jesus was born, because there really is not one single proof for that, not even a Christian one. To conclude from this that this significant Christian religious act was more or less arbitrarily placed on this date would, however, be completely wrong, for arbitrariness played and plays a rather undesirable role in the great stage play enslavement of a world. But not only the determination of the date, but also the sacred feast itself gives impetus to various critical reflections and investigations. Originally, the very young Christianity knew only the annual. Passover Jews celebrate Passover as a commemoration of their liberation by God from slavery, which even then leaned closely to the eponymous Jewish festival. Soon the Christian Passover Easter was woven into the idea of the miraculous resurrection of Jesus, and accordingly celebrated with a festive meal. The day of the birth of Jesus was for a long time not dressed in a religious festival. On the contrary, the idea of a humanization of God was initially even massively persecuted because it was much like the natural pagan idea that gods could simply be begotten and born. It was not with the birth of Christ, but only with the resurrection that the divine manifested itself in him, the Christians argued. Later, Passover became Easter by competing for the pagan festival Alban Eiler Spring Equinox, which was dedicated to the goddess of the young light and life, Ostara Eostre. Only 3 centuries later, the weights should shift in favor of Christmas. Since religious festivals and rites are closely related to the cultural, political, and social development of a people, some historical facts need to be clarified to clarify the origin of Christmas. The full brochure is available in the Figu shop.